Mrs. Ross, Glenwood School Counselor. I'm so glad that you have chosen to join me for our mindful moments. All right, so what we're going to do first is go ahead and practice our mindful moment time, and then we're going to review our word for the week. All right, so if you will sit cross legged on the floor or sit comfortably in a chair with your hands on your knees. All right, so we're going to relax our shoulders. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to look down. You can do both of those again. I'm going to remind you, if closing your eyes makes you uncomfortable, just look down. All right, so we're going to inhale and exhale through our nose. And I know for some folks right now, you are having allergy issues. So if breathing in and out through your nose causes an issue, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. The key thing for us when we're breathing is to make sure we do it slowly and we're very intentional and purposeful, okay? All right, so if we breathe in through our nose, we inhale through our nose and we count in our head slowly 1, 2, 3, hold it for a second, and then if we need to go through our mouth, we slowly let out the air, slowly counting 1 in our head because you can't count and talk and breathe at the same time. It's hard. All right, so and slowly on a count of 5. All right, and then if you need, you can also do it through your nose. Both of these are good breathing techniques. So ready? Here we go. Hands on your knees. Look down. Let's inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Again, inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. One last time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. If you will open your eyes slowly, let's look up. So we're starting our morning with our breathing just to get us calm, ready to learn and to listen. I did that this morning. I don't know about you, but yesterday was a little crazy. The weather was crazy last night, and just sometimes we just need to, the first thing in the morning, we just need to reset. And so I say this like a broken record. Breathing is free and it's the easiest strategy to use. And you can do it. You don't need tools. You just need your body. So you can do it anywhere. So again, I'm going to challenge you to keep practicing because the more you practice, the better you get. All right. So who remembers what our word for the week has been? If you said patience, you are absolutely correct. So we talked about that patience is remaining calm during difficult situations. So I'm going to do a little object lesson with you. Okay. So uh, everybody has a different tolerance level. And I've had boys and girls come talk to me. They've had one teacher 1 year and next year a new teacher. And they're going, well, my teacher last year didn't have a problem with that I tapped my fingers or, made this noise. And my teacher this year, it just gets on her nerves. And so we've talked about that. So I have 2 objects in my hand. I have a really tiny rubber band and I have a larger rubber band. So I use that to explain. So if you've ever played with rubber bands, when you snap them on somebody, they hurt. Well, I want you to think about this with this small rubber band. Uh, if I could, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want to hurt myself, this is showing somebody that has very little tolerance. So, if you're around those folks, they don't have very much patience. It's something that they might need to work on. And if they snap, rubber band hurts. Now, this person, they're a little bit more flexible. But you know what? We know when they finally have snapped because that rubber band hits us and it hurts. So we all get to decide, what our tolerance is going to be. And some of us have to work at it. But I want you to think about that. I would say right now, parents' tolerance level is probably very close to this. They're tired. They work full-time jobs, and then they are having to be teachers. So if we're around folks that you know their tolerance level is shorter, then let's think about what we can control, what we can do to help. There are things that we ourselves can do. Now, do I want I don't want people to be mean to you. I don't want people to be mean to me. But, I think there's sometimes, especially with siblings, because I was talking on the phone with several kids yesterday, we know when our sibling is at the end of their rope and their patience level, their tolerance is just done. But sometimes, if we're the little brother or sister, we egg them on. I was a little sister, and I knew how to make my brothers mad because I want to get them in trouble. That is so not nice. I know that now. So let's think how we can respond to things. Because again, it is our choice. Whether we're around somebody that has very little patience or somebody that has a lot of patience. Let's think about our actions. How are we reacting to people? How are we around folks? Are we encouraging folks, or are we causing stress? And we can do that. Okay, so if you remember, I said that it's a skill we have to develop, and patience is one of those skills that is a life skill that you need to have it not only as a kid, but you need it as a grown-up, because when you go have a job, get a job as a grown-up, you need to have lots of patience. Okay, because patience helps us get along with people. It helps us be a good worker. And bosses really look at that. They look at, wow, you know what? That person, they listen to people. They don't just fuss and yell because somebody's not doing something the way they want it done. So, again, it's something we're going to work on. So, it's a very useful skill. So, we have to learn how to remain calm. So, this week, I've read a story about a kid that he had stuff to say and he had to learn how not to blurt out, had to practice patience. That's very important. Maybe while you're doing your work, I've heard from parents going, my kid can't remember how to do that fraction math, or my kid doesn't know how to do that reading. We have to practice patience to get better at those skills. And it's just doing something over and over and over until it sticks in our brain. And sometimes when stuff is hard for us, we just want to throw it away and we just want to quit. Sometimes we get up and we storm off and go, I can't do this. And what we need to do so our brain grows is to keep working at it. Just keep trying and trying and trying. And eventually, it may take a long time, but eventually we'll get it. That's something that I've had to learn to do, even learning new technology skills. I get really frustrated sometimes, but if I practice it and I keep working at it, my patience level with it is better. So that's something that we have to do. I challenge you this week about playing games with your family. That helps develop patience because we have to learn about taking turns. So I hope that you're continuing to do that. That helps. So we're going to do an activity right now. It's called an object focus. All right. So I'm holding a new object in front of me. All right. So this is going to help us develop some patience. Ready? I want you just to focus on this object. I want you to notice everything you can about this object. What colors do you see? I know the lighting is sort of bad in here today. The sun's not out. Can you tell what colors? What texture you think this object has? Does it make a sound? How do you think it might feel? How do you think if you poke or squeeze it, you think I can squeeze it? I don't know if you have. So just paying attention, just noticing things. Sometimes when your patience level is wearing thin, if you do an object focus, you just put something in your hand and you just stare at it, and maybe you think about those things, it will calm you. That's another calming strategy. And it will just help you be able to reset your brain, and maybe you can respond to that person in a more positive way. So again, object focus is very important to maybe do that. Sometimes maybe you just need to go to a quiet place and then think of what's a strategy that Ms. Ross has talked about, or maybe you go to another school, and I know all the other elementary counselors talk about coping skills, calming strategies. Maybe it's, I just need to stop and think, what's going to happen if I respond this way? Or maybe I need to count. Yesterday I was saying, we generally say count to 10, count backwards from 10. And then I was telling you, I learned from, I think it was Miss Huffman was teaching a first grade math, that first graders know how to count all the way to 150. So for some of you, maybe that's what you need to do. You don't have to stop at 10. Taking deep breaths. I know that a lot of schools have the sensory boxes, the Calm My Body boxes. Every school calls theirs different things, but objects in a box, like you could do the focus on or squeezing, those kind of things. I challenge folks to create something at home. Since we're doing school at home, find everyday objects that would help you, to help you know how to calm down. And then maybe set a timer. Say, you know what, I just need to have 5 minutes away. Use a kitchen timer, or if you have a sand timer at home, do that, just to give you, okay, I'm giving myself 5 minutes. Because if you know you have a set time, then it might you more intentional focusing, going, all right, what do I need to do? How am I going to reset my brain? And then hopefully at that point, you're able to go back to the person that you needed to talk to, that maybe you were playing a game and you got upset, to help you not have the short fuse, not have no patience, but maybe have a longer patience. So doing those kind of things. So a couple other strategies for today. We're going to do a power hug. So ready? Everybody sit up. I want you to take your left hand, all right, and you're going to put it on your right shoulder. You ready? Take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder. This is a power hug, and then we actually have done this before, but you know what? I think it's very important to do these. So you're going to squeeze yourself in a hug, and when you're doing that, I want you to create a mantra for yourself. We've done these before too. Like, you could say, I am strong, or I am kind, or I believe in me. Something that help you. So there's research again about the pressure points that when we press our bodies together, the squeezing, tightness, and all, that it really does help us. So squeeze your hands on your shoulders and say, like, I am enough, or I am brave. I've had to say that a lot lately because with the things going on. Do that. All right, and you can do, all right, so I'm going to take my hands and I'm squeezing a little bit lower, and I'm going to tap, tap, squeeze. And I'm going to tap, tap, squeeze. Tap, tap, squeeze. Tap, tap, squeeze. So just, pressure on yourself. That helps. So power hug's very important to do. All right, so we've done a lot of different things this morning. I'm hoping this week I'm reviewing a lot of the coping strategies and us just talking about patience as things to give you food for thought, and that you will work on those things. Because you know what? If we just hear it one time and we don't do anything with it, then these skills aren't any good for you. You have to practice these skills just like you practice your reading and math skills. These are called SEL skills, or social emotional learning skills. And guys, these skills are going to help you be successful in life. So I hope that you're going to choose to practice these as parents, adults, grandparents, kids. These are skills that we all need to have. It'll make our community much better. So I hope you make this a thoughtful Thursday. You have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.